Hello everyone, Adrienne here. So yeah, I know it's been a little while. I actually intended to make this video probably a couple weeks ago, but as you may notice from the tone of my voice, I am recovering from a little bit of illness. It's so stupid. For my birthday and for my anniversary, I got COVID. That sucks. As you guys know, I'm a healthcare worker, and it was inevitable that I was going to get it eventually. Yes, I'm fully vaccinated, and I will be in line to get the next booster later on this month when I get back from my trip to LA to record my first original song. So, that being said, I'm better. Don't worry about my sense of taste or smell, but I got this strain that doesn't mess with your ability or with your sense of taste or smell. So that's really, really good, because otherwise I probably would have cried. Because obviously for my sense of taste and smell, I do rely on that for doing what I do here. And if I lost it, I would be really, really upset. I'm sure you guys can understand, but I'm better. I'm just slightly a little bit nasally. I still have a little bit of congestion kind of hanging around in my sinuses, but otherwise I'm better. So I'm okay, guys. I survived. It really didn't affect me too much. I initially didn't realize that I had it because I thought it was just like severe airborne allergies, like kicking my ass again, because there was a little bit of smoke pollution hanging around. But then my poor husband, Kenny, started getting sick, like really, really sick, like fever, body aches, chills. He called himself a sweat monster, which I think is hilarious, and coughing, and he just got the works. But me, on the other hand, because my symptoms were so mild, like all I got was like congestion and a sore throat, and then that was it. So I'm thankful that in my case, it was minor, but I also feel bad for poor Kenny. But anyway, we're both better. We're both doing really, really well. And I'm really glad that it didn't hit me as bad as it could have. Thank God. So I wanted to squeeze in one more absinthe review before I go to LA next week, as of me filming this, to record my first original song. I just want to tell you guys the title so badly, but I just want to wait a little bit longer when it gets a little closer to the release date for the song. Just a little longer. But I'm going to be recording it next week. I can't believe it's happening. Wow! So I was contacted by this new absinthe brand, and they reached out to me on Instagram, and they said that they really enjoyed my social media content, like on TikTok and on YouTube and Instagram and all of the above. And they said, hey, we've been trying to make consistent batches of our absinthe for about 5 years, and we finally have gotten to a point where we feel pretty good about it. So they released their brand recently. So I believe it's called Aixsinthe, or Aixsinthe. I'm not really sure like how exactly to pronounce it. And it looks like this is from Germany, if I'm remembering correctly. So they have released a blanche and a verte, and I'm really excited about a new product on the market. And another thing too is that these just became available on Alandia. I was probably one of the first people in the US to get my paws on these, which was really exciting for me because I was just like, wow, this new brand is contacting me, and I'm gonna be getting it before it even becomes available for like pre-order on Alandia around that same time-ish, kind of. But then I got COVID and I couldn't review it, so I was really, really upset about that, understandably. So that's why we're here. We're going to be reviewing both of these absinthes today. It's going to be a little 2-in-1. I know sometimes you guys like it when I do 2-in-1s, or in the case of my most recent review, 5-in-1. That was ridiculous. Totally worth it though. I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed that video. So let's start with reading a little information about the verte in this new release. Super excited about it. Okay, so this is the Absinthe Aixsinthe Vivide. So here's what they say. Absinthe Vivide is a premium German absinthe. It is distilled with wine alcohol, something I'm very excited about. Matured in oak barrels, even better, and naturally colored. Also great. We definitely want stuff that is naturally colored. Wonderful. Its taste is intense with a complex, spicy taste. We really like this absinthe for its complexity. If you're looking for a taste experience, this absinthe should be your pick. So I'm really, really excited about this new one. And now let's read the information for the blanche. So they call the blanche blanche noire. Not sure why, but that's okay. I admire the creativity. Aixsinthe Blanche Noire is a premium German absinthe. To be precise, it is an uncolored absinthe, blanche, that matured in oak barrel. The maturation gives the initial crystal clear absinthe a very aesthetically looking caramel white color. Okay, that's different. Its taste is intense with fresh and creamy toffee notes. That's interesting. Cool. We really like this absinthe for its complexity and smoothness. If you were looking for a well-balanced, creamy absinthe, Aixsinthe Blanche Noire should be your pick. Okay, great. I am super excited about this brand. And just to prove to you guys that I have not dipped into these still have the little plastic seal. So I haven't had any sneaky tastes before we have done the review. Great. So I also want to go over the alcohol content for both of these. So the verte is at 68% alcohol. You know, that's within normal desirable range for absinthe, especially for a verte. And then the blanche is at 53% alcohol. A lot of the times the blanche absinthes do tend to have a lower alcohol content, which I don't necessarily mind. I usually prefer a higher alcohol content, but that's just me. I'm hoping that if these products are really, really good, that they will get a running start in the world of absinthe in the absinthe market. So that's why I'm here. That's why we do this. All right, let's reposition the camera and start our evaluation. All right, everyone. So now we are at the point where we are going to start evaluating both of these beautiful new absinthes. Really, really excited. So I just took the seal off of both of these so that we can begin the evaluation process. All right, so let's start with the blanche. I was just thrown off by the top on this one. It's very different. So since I'm going to be evaluating two absinthes in this video, I wanted to lessen the portion that I'm going to be partaking in. So there's the blanche, and from what I can see from my vantage point, it looks like it is crystal clear, no sediment, really, really good sign. Maybe just a teeny hint of like gold or yellow, maybe. Tiny bit, possibly. Ooh, the verte smells really good. Okay, try not to overpour it, Adrian. Okay, so the verte. All right, so the verte has a very nice, subtle, kind of like light olive tone with a little bit of gold. So that's a really pretty color, very traditional. I will go ahead and give the color on that one 4 stars. It's not particularly complex, but it is correct. Definitely not within the realm of artificial coloring, which is what we want to stay away from whenever we are reviewing absinthe. And then for the blanche, I'm going to go ahead and give that 5 stars. It is crystal clear, looks beautiful, and I'm looking forward to trying both of these. All right, so now we're going to begin the process of the louche. Also that one down a little bit. Okay, immediate louche. I'm really happy to see that. To see that on both of them, actually. Wow. A little bit of splashing happening, but that's okay. Okay, So I will say the louche on the verte is just a little bit thin compared to the louche on the blanche. And I didn't use very much water either, but I could have it could be because of the smaller portion that I did pour for both of these because I was doing it 2 in 1 today. I am noticing that the clear layer on top of both of these is fully disappeared at a ratio of 1 to 3. I'm just going to call it 1 to 3. So for the louche on the verte, I want to give that 3.5 stars. While not bad, it could be better. And then for the blanche, I want to go ahead and give that 4 stars because it does have a little bit more of a thicker, opalescent, opaque looking louche. All right, so now we're going to reposition the camera again, and we are going to evaluate the aroma, flavor, and mouthfeel of both of these and see how they turn out. So let's go ahead and evaluate the aroma and see how these shake up. Ooh! This is the verte, by the way. Wow! That is really interesting. I don't know what it is about it. It kind of has like a pine tree or like rosemary kind of like spicy freshness to it. That's the best way that I can describe it. Like it's a little peppery, but it's also a little like fresh and piney and a little minty too. So that's really interesting. Wow. I'm not getting much of the Holy Trinity. Maybe a little bit of the wormwood, because maybe that's that rosemary or sagey kind of fragrance that I'm smelling. But that is interesting. I have a feeling if I brought Kenny in here and he smelled it, he probably thinks that it would taste like rosemary, or maybe smell like rosemary, but yeah. So the aroma on this one, I really like it. It's unusual. It's not necessarily having the full display of the Holy Trinity there, but I think it's interesting. Sometimes certain things will come through in the scent profile that won't necessarily come through in the flavor profile and vice versa. So yeah, I don't mind that. You know, sometimes. So for the aroma on this one, I want to give it 4 stars for being unique and interesting, which is always a good thing. All right, let's check out the blanche and see how this one is. This one tastes a little nutty. Maybe that's kind of the toffee. Yes. It kind of has a little bit of a nutty sort of fragrance to it. Definitely reminds me of toffee. And a little bit of hazelnut. So it's a little nutty, kind of toffee-like, but it smells a lot sweeter than the other one. It still has that really interesting freshness that I like, but not a little bit dialed back compared to the verte. So for the fragrance on this one, I'm not really getting much of the Holy Trinity in there. Maybe a little bit more anise than the previous one, but I still really like it. So the aroma on that one, I'm going to give 4 stars as well. All right, we're going to check out the flavor. This will be interesting. So as always, santé, and please drink responsibly. That's really interesting. I keep saying interesting, I'm terribly sorry. So I will say that the wormwood seems to be a little bit more forward on this one. I'm not really getting much of the anise flavors, so I have a feeling my husband might like this one. But it finishes really sweet and really interesting. I want to be fair here because this is a new product on the market. I do want to give it a chance. But I will say the flavor's not quite my favorite. But that doesn't mean it's not good and doesn't have good things going for it. So for flavor, I'm going to go ahead and give that 3.5 stars. While definitely not terrible, it could be better. It starts out a little bitter and spicy and botanical, but then it sweetens up at the end. So I do like that aspect of it. I'm thinking that it probably doesn't have as much anise or fennel as it could. But that's just my opinion. Okay, so we're gonna try the blanche now, and I just took a sip of water so I could clean my palate before tasting the second one here. And once again, santé, and please drink responsibly. That one's definitely sweeter. Definitely, it kind of has a weird candy-like sweetness to it. I'm not necessarily mad about that. That's just really interesting. I haven't had that kind of sweetness in an absinthe before. Not necessarily mad about it. I'm actually a big fan of it. So I do enjoy the flavor and the finish on this one a little bit more than the verte, which for me is saying a lot because I typically do prefer verte absinthes as opposed to the blanche absinthes. So yeah, I do enjoy the blanche a little bit more, and that's saying a lot. That is saying a lot. So the blanche, I want to go ahead and give that 4 stars in comparison. And then let's go ahead and check out the mouthfeel for these. Like, I already wasn't terribly impressed by the mouthfeel for the verte, but I do enjoy the mouthfeel for the blanche, but I'm just gonna try them, like, give them another taste and see what's up. Okay, so evaluating the mouthfeel for the verte. So the aftertaste is really sweet. I like that. But the mouthfeel does feel a little thin. It's not the best mouthfeel that I've ever had, but there's still some substance. There's still a little bit of substance to it that I do like. So for the mouthfeel, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. Camera's about to overheat again, but I'll try to finish the mouthfeel before I switch batteries. Okay, so here is the mouthfeel for the blanche. So the mouthfeel for this one is definitely sweeter. Like I said, it kind of has that candy-like finish, which is really interesting and I kind of like. I think a beginner would enjoy that one. But I feel like the finish and the mouthfeel for it is a little bit more substantive in the blanche than it is for the verte. So I'm not exactly sure why that is, but I do enjoy the mouthfeel for the blanche a little bit more. So for the mouthfeel for the blanche, I will give that 4 stars. All right, so I am going to give my final thoughts on these new absinthes from Germany. So I am really, really happy that the owner of this new brand did send me these products. I'm really glad I had a chance to try them, and I really appreciate them valuing my opinion. So here's the thing. I feel like they both have really good things going for it. I really do. However, I feel like there is room for improvement. So, for example, I think that if whatever they did for the mouthfeel for the blanche, I think would definitely improve the mouthfeel for the verte. But again, this is just my opinion. You can take it with a grain of salt, whatever. You know, I've only done like over 50 reviews of these, but anyway, I will say that the blanche is more enjoyable. The blanche has a little bit more complexity, a little bit more sweetness, a little bit of the Holy Trinity kind of showing through. Has an interesting kind of like candy-like finish that I really like. However, the verte does have a thinner louche, has a little bit more bitterness, isn't showing as much of the Holy Trinity. I do like the spiciness and the complexity and the sweet finish that it has, but I feel like if you put the Holy Trinity a little bit more on full display. So again, the Holy Trinity is anise, fennel, and wormwood. Grand wormwood, of course. I feel like it would improve the product a little bit more and maybe even thicken the louche. So maybe more green anise, more fennel, I think would make it better and more enjoyable and a little bit closer to a traditional profile. So overall, these aren't bad. And especially for a new product that has been working on their formula for a while. I am relatively happy with this. But again, I do feel like there is room for improvement. So I'm going to call in my lovely husband and have him taste these and see what he thinks. Hey, honey, I'm going to need your non-expert opinion. So here's the surprising thing. I like the blanche more than the verte.
Okay, then.
Usually I prefer the vertes because
don't
they...
tell me this. You'll take my opinion.
Okay.
Because I'm going to have to agree with you because I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so that is the verte.
I actually kind of like that.
You do? I have a feeling you're going to like the blanche more.
I'm not getting as much of like a licorice-y flavor. I don't know how to describe it. But on the sides of the tongue, I'm getting something
little
almost
peppery.
Fruity.
Fruity? Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of described the initial scent as kind of rosemary-like or kind of pine tree-like.
Yeah. No, I actually like that.
Actually genuinely like it. Okay.
That's actually something that I would drink.
Really?
Yeah.
And this is no sugar?
Yeah, no, that's shockingly good, actually.
Okay, so...
Let me get some water here.
Of course. Yeah. So, I guess I would recommend it for a beginner. Or at least the verte I would recommend for a beginner, especially if the person in question is not a big fan of black licorice.
Yeah, no.
So that is the blanche.
That's actually pretty good too.
Really?
Yeah, no, they're very smooth. I'm not getting just like fucking pounded with the licorice. I'm sorry, should I not swear on you? I don't know.
You can swear.
Okay.
I don't care.
I don't know how much you swear on your videos.
I specifically have to hit a selection that says this is not suitable for children.
I guess that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, those are both really good, actually.
Really?
Yeah, no, like genuinely, I actually mean it when I say I would drink these.
So you know that fennel is in Herbes de Provence, which we both enjoy. It's a staple in our kitchen. We love it. Mm-hmm. So do you think if it had a little more fennel and maybe just a little bit more green anise that you would still enjoy it?
I don't know. That I can't say because I cannot...
Pinpoint fennel?
It's not that. I just cannot formulate in my mind what would make me like it less or more because I just like what I've tasted.
Okay. So I said maybe if there's more green, like a little more green anise in the distillate, then maybe it would improve the louche and maybe improve the mouthfeel a little bit.
Yeah.
I did like the mouthfeel of the blanche more than the verte. Like the verte did feel a little thin to me in mouthfeel. Like this one had a little bit more substance. So do you like these equally? Do you like the...
Yeah, I like them more or less equally.
Okay.
I would drink either one of these. I just really like that they're real smooth. They both feel light in my mouth, and they're not making me, get those boozy coughs. The
of course
you get sometimes with booze.
Mm-hmm.
They're just really chill.
Okay.
They're relaxed.
They're laid back.
Yeah, I feel like they're not fussy in a way.
Honestly,
because of the fact they're so smooth and relaxed.
Honestly, like, I could see, like, the green one being really good with making a Sazerac for you.
Yeah, I mean, we can try that later. I mean, I got the next 2 days off.
You do, yeah.
But yeah, no, I would drink either one of those. That is a Kenny seal of approval.
Okay.
In my not liking of absinthe ways. I think I would probably pick those over any absinthe you've given me previously.
Even the jades?
Yeah.
But that's because the jades are really forward on the anise.
Yeah, no. These are so chill that I, as a noob who doesn't care for absinthe, I would drink those. I would drink them. And so if it's somebody who's just getting into absinthe, I think those are probably 10 out of 10.
Good entry point?
Yeah. Now, if you were an expert... Probably not a 10 out of 10, but for a non-absinthe drinker, I personally would give it 10 out of 10.
I mean, as you can see, I didn't rate these, like, low.
Yeah, it looks like you gave them pretty good scores. Decent scores, at least.
Yeah, decent scores. So it's not that they're terrible.
Yeah.
They have really good things going for them, in my opinion, like coming from an expert.
Yeah.
That has done over 50 reviews. I just think that there's just a little bit of room for improvement, especially like on the velt.
No, I get that. I'm just saying it's for someone who's not an absinthe drinker.
Okay.
I would drink those.
Okay.
I would drink those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lovely.
In fact, I might later. Who knows?
Really?
Depending on what we're doing tonight.
Okay, thank you so much, honey. I appreciate it.
Love you.
Love you too. Okay, so you heard it from my husband. He said that these are great for a beginner. He says that he likes these more than any other absinthe that I have given him. And again, one more time, this is because Kenny is not a big fan of absinthe. He really is not a big fan of anything that reminds him of black licorice. So I have noticed that the absinthes I have given my husband that are less forward on the anise, he does tend to like a lot more. I personally, because I'm kind of a stickler for tradition when it comes to making absinthe, I do like things that are a little closer to a traditional flavor profile. However, that does not mean that I'm going to automatically hate anything that strays from that a little bit. So yes, I think that these have a lot of good things going for it. The mouthfeel for the velt could have been a little better. So that's just my opinion. So good for a beginner who is a little intimidated by absinthe, but enjoyable, but not like top notch for someone who is a little bit more seasoned. So that being said, thank you so much for watching, guys. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for all of your encouraging and supportive words on my upcoming recording session for my first original song. I really appreciate it. all of your words have really helped me build up my confidence and feel really good about the recording coming up in the future. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And as always, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and make sure you hit that bell for notifications for more videos on absinthe and the Gothic subculture and Gothic literature and other things that I love. And you will be seeing probably a lyric video for my first original song sometime in the very near future. And if you are a patron, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. I have upgraded some of the perks in a couple of the tiers for my patrons. So if you are at the second or third tier, then you will be receiving a physical copy of my first original song. And all of my patrons will be acknowledged in the acknowledgement section of the CD jacket. So just wanted to make you guys aware. So thank you so much to my patrons. Really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. And to everyone, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!